Someone insults you, criticizes your work, comes at you in a meeting, in a comment section, at dinner with your family. In that half second after the attack lands on you, your brain gives you two options: defend yourself or attack back at them. Both feel natural, both feel satisfying even, but both are traps. There's a third option almost nobody uses, and it's more powerful than either one. It is one of the biggest communication weapon you can use. And today I want to break it down exactly why it works and exactly how to use it. So the move is, when you are attacked, ask a question. Not a rhetorical one, a real one. You're not trying to win the exchange then, you're trying to find out what's actually going on. That distinction matters more than anything else in this video, so keep that in mind. So let's do a quick taste of what I mean before we dig into the why. So let's say at work, your boss says, this report is a mess. So instead of, no, it's not, or, well, you never give me a clear space, you always say that my reports don't work, you ask them a question. You ask, which part isn't working for you? Now they have to point to something specific instead of leaving you to guess. Another example, at home, a partner or family member says, you never listen to me. Instead of, that's not fair, I listen to you all the time, you ask, when was the last time that happened? Either they name a real moment you can actually work with, or they realize mid-sentence that never was an exaggeration. Both ways, the temperature drops. So let's break down why that works. We need to understand that why in some situations defending and attacking will both fail. So defending yourself puts you on a trial mode. The moment you say, that's not true, let me explain, or you over-explain, you have accepted the frame that you did something wrong and now you need to prove otherwise. You're playing defense on a field the other person chose, so they have the power now. Even if you're completely in the right, you now look like someone justifying themselves. And to an onlooker, justification often reads as guilt, fair or not. Now, why attacking back don't work? Because it escalates the issues. It turns a single complaint into a two-front war. Now there are two grievances in the room instead of one, and neither of them gets resolved when you attack each other. It also confirms to the other person that you are combative, like a ladaku, which makes them dig in harder next time to hurt you. Now both responses have something in common. They are reactive. They're not response. They're coming from the field of reaction. They hand control of the conversation to whoever attacked you. You're now playing their game on their terms at their pace, so they are holding the power in the conversation. To get back your power, you need to ask a question, because a question breaks that pattern entirely. Now, why asking a question works? So there are four real mechanisms at play here. 1. Asking a question buys you time. Attacks tend to be fast and emotional. Reactions matched to that speed tend to be fast and emotional too, which is exactly how fights begin and spiral. A question forces a beat of silence while the other person formulates an answer. That beat is where your nervous system catches up to your brain and lets you respond instead of reacting. 2. It shifts who's doing the work. The moment you defend, you are the one sweating, explaining, justifying, producing evidence. Ask a genuine question and suddenly they have to produce something, a reason, an example, a specific. The cognitive load moves to the other side of the table. Now this is not manipulation, it's just being accurate. They made a claim needs support, so let them prove it, right? 3. Most attacks are vague, on purpose or by accident. You never listen, this is sloppy, you always do this, words like never, always, sloppy, disrespectful, which are emotionally loaded but factually empty. A question forces specifics, and specifics are almost always more manageable than the vague, sweeping version or attack on you. It's much easier to respond to you were on your phone during the last 2 calls than you never listen or you never talk and pick up my calls. 4. It signals composure. Whoever stays calm and curious in a tense exchange is, in almost every observer's eyes, the more credible person. Not because they won, but because they didn't get knocked off balance. That composure and calmness is its own kind of authority to give you the power in that conversation. So, putting it all together, a question slows down the things, moves the burden of proof, and makes you look steady while doing it. That's a lot of work for one short sentence, right? Alright, so how to actually do it? The formula is simple. When someone attacks you, ask one of this. What makes you say that? Can you give me an example? So, what specifically happened? What are you specifically talking about? When did that happen? So, what would you want instead? Now, each one does the same job. It is asking them to move from feeling to quoting a fact. So let me give you one more explanation through an example. Okay. So I'll show you via, I'll tell you the bad response and I'll tell you a better response as well. So let's say the scenario is someone says, you clearly don't care about the project. What will be a bad thing to do? That is defending. That's not true. I care a ton. I have been working on this every night. Now, by doing this, you sound rattled. You sound like you're pleading. Bad thing to do would be attacking. Well, maybe if you gave the clear instructions. Now, it's a fight about instructions, not the original concern. Now, what would be better? Better would be asking them this question. What makes it seem that way? Now, they have to explain. Maybe they say, you missed the last 2 check-ins. Great. That's something you can actually address. Maybe they say, I don't know, just a vibe. Also useful. Now you know there's no real substance behind it and you can say so calmly. So here is the part that makes or breaks the whole technique. The question only works if it is sincere. When you say what makes you say that with an eye roll, what makes you say that, or a smirk, it stops being a question. It becomes an attack wearing a question mark. People pick up the tone instantly, often faster than they process the actual words. So if your question is really just a disguised jab, it will land as one and you lose all the benefits we just talked about. So please ask a curious, genuine question. So before you ask, check yourself for half a second. Am I actually curious? Or am I just trying to sound calm while I load up another shot? If it's the second one, you have not used this technique. You've just found a sneakier way to fight. It will again become a fight. We don't want to fight, right? So next time someone comes at you in a meeting, a comment section, a family dinner, resist the pull to defend or swing back. Ask a question instead. One honest question is quieter than an argument, but it does more work than either defending or attacking ever could. If you like this video, please subscribe to this channel, which is called Speak with Power. I'm Captain Ritu Kumar Singh and I'm your communication, confidence and emotional intelligence coach. And I teach you how to speak with power. Now, when I say that I teach everyone how to do speaking, speaking is not just about the external way to do it. We work on the person who is speaking. And when we work on the person who is speaking, automatically, they turn out to become a good speaker because what's inside will naturally come out outside with the words which we speak, and that's how we become a powerful communicator, and then we live with power and speak with power. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Do let me know your opinion about this in the comment section as well. Jai Hind everyone. Namaste.